Hello! Well, this time I'm going to show you a little more about me. I made a collage of different things related to my life. I have great memories of reading from my childhood, so I'll start by showing this beautiful book series, Charlie Brown's Super Book of Questions and Answers. I learned a lot of things from reading these books. I love these books because you can see pictures of Peanuts characters illustrating different things about the world, teaching you a lot of things about different topics. I was so happy with those books. Just to be clear, I'm not showing all the books that I like or that I have read. The Little Prince. Who doesn't remember at least seeing the cover of this book? This book is beautiful. It makes you think about different things about life. 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. I laughed a lot when I read this book. I also have good memories because my mother had me to read it and there were different words that I didn't understand at that time in my life. Jules Verne's books have magic and I like magic. I usually like fiction books. Jumper by Stephen Gould is one of my favorites. There is also a movie based on it, but I liked the book more. Books, movies, shows, and music are all related. Since I was a kid, I'd always liked listening to music. I like many artists, but perhaps the Beatles are my favorite. It's tough to decide. There are many different kinds of books, including those that mix music and stories, like the complete Beatles songs by Steve Turner, an amazing work that tells you all you need to know about all the lyrics to every song by the Beatles. Another beautiful book of the same type is Armas para Volar, Cancionero Ilustrado by Jorgen. I never heard of this cool band until I heard some of their songs on a few shows on Netflix, including Merli and Elete. After that, I learned that they were coming to Bogota. That's when I had one of many great experiences with them. They were performing an incredible acoustic show in a record store, and I got to meet them and have them sign my copy of their book. Later, I went to their concert, and it was amazing. That wasn't the only time that I got close to the artists. When I was in college, different local artists were preparing to perform there, and I was lucky enough to win different meet and greets where I could be close to both local and international artists. From all the meet and greets I attended, my top favorites were Mercury Ramon and Smashing Pumpkins. The first time when I was close to an artist was with Michael Stipe from R.E.M. He was very nice. He reached out his hand to touch fans like Shakira did in her last show on the El Dorado tour in Bogota. I got to greet them with a cool handshake. I have lots of stories related to artists, like when I was walking around and I saw the holler where Chris Martin and his band were staying and I got to read them and have Chris Martin sign 2 of my CDs. The same thing happened with Aterciopelados, but not in a holler. They were giving autograph in a record store. I always liked Andrea, the vocalist from Aterciopelados. I could have the same story with Gustavo Cerati, but the time he was here, I was a real idiot. I was angry with Cerati because I wanted to see him with his band, and he was here alone, and said that he wouldn't be back with his band, Soda Stereo. So, when I was walking in the center of the mall and he was giving autograph, I decided to skip it. Now, years later, I regret it because he died and I had the opportunity to be close and get his autograph, but I missed it. I used to not like musicals. I didn't even like the musical American Idiot by Green Day. In college, a friend of mine told me that his friend's sister went to New York and saw musicals there that were amazing. So, when I went to New York, I decided to go see some musicals too. It was definitely wonderful. My favorite was Kinky Boots by Cyndi Lauper. You feel all the energy. I liked Cyndi Lauper and I thought that I would hear some of her most famous songs, but no, she was only the director and didn't perform in the show. Even so, I loved that musical. The United States is the birthplace of modern cinema, so I felt like I was in a movie when I was there. I could be close to the stars made of wax when I went to Madame Tussauds. The scenery there reminded me of moments from movies I had seen, like Ghostbusters, or the times I had heard different musicians like Alicia Keys Frank Sinatra, and others. I'm open to experiencing all kinds of music, so I can listen to different music from around the world, and if I like it, I'll keep listening. One example is Tom Jobim. I knew about him when I was in college, and I can say now that bossa nova is one of my favorite genres. Still, rock will always be my favorite. I never thought that someone could win a Nobel Prize from rock music until Bob Dylan showed that he isn't just a musical genius, he is also a Nobel laureate in literature. I don't have pictures with politicians, but I admit that there are a few things that I like about some of them. Juan Manuel Santos is no saint, but I'm thankful for him because of what he achieved with respect to moving Colombia further down the road toward disarmament. People can say whatever they want, but he accomplished much more than many others. Tanas Mockus is a great person. He did many good things when he was mayor of Bogota. Claudia Lopez caught my attention because she has always fought against corruption and has led worthwhile projects. Next year, she will start to govern, and I hope she does well. There are people who consider themselves left, right, or center. I simply believe that rather than supporting someone for being right, left, or anything, you have to look at how they have really acted in their career and what they are proposing. Something to admire about Claudia was when she supported Gustavo Petro despite the lies that were being told about him. Unfortunately, that many others did not because they believed the lies. Even though acceptance of the country thinks that Petro is a bad leader, and I know that he is not perfect. Notice he is English. At least he is not so bad. And now I'll finish with this photo of me at the graduation ceremony where I received my degree in biomedical engineering. Why did I study biomedical engineering? I have always had a passion for nature and technology and for science in general. Then I decided to study electronics engineering because I really liked electronics, especially when used in microcontrollers. Sometime later, I graduated as an electronics engineer. What are my future academic plans? For one, I want to be able to master English, also improve my Portuguese, and if I can learn French too. I want to learn more languages. I will see how that goes over time. I want to continue learning and sharing my knowledge with society to help build a better world.